would say that this figure looks way too good to be a Union Creative figure. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your weekly figure news fix. This time around 10th to 15th of June 2024. And this has to be top 3, one of the worst weeks of the year yet so far. Because the figures on pre-order on both sides are kind of like kind of boring or meh. Kind of mid, like nothing too interesting. But at the same time, that could be a blessing in disguise. I mean, every one of us, our wallets deserve a break, right? You wouldn't want to have something on pre-order every week. Okay, one more thing before I proceed, a small announcement over here. There are 2 figure reviews coming up on this channel. I think the first one will be in 2 weeks time, at the earliest I think. Hopefully I get it done by then. Yeah, we have an Animaster figure, and no, that is not the Succubus figure where everyone are posting pictures of on Reddit and MFC. Yeah, not that one. I'm skipping past that one. I like it. I like that figure, but I don't see myself buying it. I'm jumping ahead with this new figure coming out in June. Yeah, I have already secured myself a unit, so to look forward towards this review. I really like her face in the official artwork a lot, and let's hope the figure turns out fine, because the face is unusually detailed for a figure this cheap. The second one is something premium, and I am going to keep it a secret. I won't say which figure it is, but all I can tell you is that this figure, no one has reviewed it on YouTube yet, even though it came out 3 months ago or so, and this is already widely sold out today. Yeah, a very popular figure. So that is the rest is all up to you to guess which figure it is or which character that is good enough. Okay, now we shall move on to genuine figures on pre-order, making use of HLJ, our affiliate partner, and I have chosen figures I want to cover this week, mostly female anime characters. The first one, a single 1x4 scale. Yeah, exactly as predicted last week. Last week when Momo went on pre-order, I said Yami would be the following week. So there you go, Yami in bikini and also gym uniform where you can interchange between the two at 1x4 scale by free ink at 36,000 yen. Once again, if you love to love roll, which I really do, go ahead and pre-order it. I used to have the original bunny version, Momo in pink bunny suit with stocking. I sold it to my friend because I needed to fund my FGO addiction. But otherwise, that figure was great, right? Okay, I don't have much else to say about this one. Like, this is a really plain 1x4 scale, but I can see this one selling really well, right? It is Yami-chan, one of the favorite characters of fans of To Love Ro. Moving on to the next one over here. Okay, in my opinion, this figure of Yumeko Jabami from Kakegurui is the highlight of this week among genuine figures. And this is unusual. I mean, this is made by Union Creative, and I would say that this figure looks way too good to be a Union Creative figure. And 23,000 yen is kind of reasonable, right? Union Creative figures are not that expensive in general, but at the same time, they are like a B-tier company, so yeah, their figures are not terribly detailed or very high quality in any way. They mostly give you value, but at the same time, they have that occasional QC quality issue. Occasional, not every figure. So this figure, at least based on the face, yeah, this one right here, wow. This is very close to the best Yumeko figure I've seen. I mean, was it Mietos or Apex Toys? Either one, right? They had this Yumeko and also the other blonde hair girl lying on a gambling board of some kind. I don't know what it is called. That was already the best figures from Kakegurui, and they were not expensive. They were under 20,000 yen. And with Kakegurui, face is everything. That yandere face over there, they need to get it right, otherwise they will completely ruin the figure. So I don't know if Union Creative is going to get her face done right in the final product, but in these official pictures, man, this looks amazing. This is also one of the best out there. And maybe you can say that the one made by the Chinese brands are better simply because you get a diorama base, and I am inclined to agree, but this one is not far off. This is top 2, top 3 best Kakegurui figure out there. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have 2 figures from Monster Hunter Rise. Okay, so for me, I'm not too interested in Monster Hunter. In general, I'm not exactly a very big fan of MMORPG style games. So maybe this figure does not appeal to me so much, but I can see this figure of Hinoa and also the other twin over here, Minato, selling really well, and both are by Union Creative. In fact, I don't remember seeing any figures of these two characters from other brands. Yeah, I don't recall any. 16k each for that kind of detail getting around their outfits in general on their torso. That looks really good for 16k. Hopefully, once again, Union Creative gets their QC done right. That is the only thing I wish for everyone who wants this pair of figures, right? And I find it curious or weird that they are sold separately. Like, you know, with some brands, when we have a pair of figures, sometimes they sell you a set where you have the option to combine two figures into one single base, display two as one, and get a small discount. Like, instead of 16k, 16k, so instead of 32,000 yen, you pay like 31,000 yen. Yeah, the Chinese brand does that. Or maybe, you know, you pay a bit more because you get an extra base, which is what the Japanese do. But either ways, I find it weird that we don't get a set package with this pair of figures. I think this is already a given that people who want one will want the other. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, we continue where we left off last week with the JoJo Black Collection. Union Creative again. Yeah, this is Union Creative week apparently. Gridman Universe, we have Yume Minami, almost 20,000 yen. And also Mujina for the same price, coming out in January next year. Yeah, I mean, it has to be licensing cost, right? I can't imagine Gridman Universe, a popular franchise, being cheap to license. So this pair of figures, I mentioned it last week as well for the other characters, where they look kind of mid. Like, lacking in detail simply because, you know, they are entirely black. They look very fashionable, but when it comes to fashion style figures, I still prefer the Evangelion Radio Eva series by Hobbymax. Those look amazing. These are just plain black. I know some people love black because they are extra emo. To me, these two are not worth 20k each, at least to me, right? I mean, this pair of Monster Hunter figures are so much more detailed for only 16,000 yen. So I would say in this kind of scenarios, it is more likely that, yeah, the licensing cost has a play in it. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is perhaps one of the best figures on pre-order this week as well. Maybe because I like the character design in some way. 1/6 scale King Propose Kurara Tokishima by Union Creative again. Okay, 21,500 yen December release, very soon. Okay, so with this bikini figure over here, and the color scheme of the figure overall reminds me of a Hololive character, which I can't recall her name at the moment. I used to review the pop-up raid, but I never purchased the scale figure. It is so similar that I could have mistaken this as her twin sister or something, or a more naughty version of her. Was her name Minato Aqua? I think it was Minato Aqua, right? The name. Yeah, I'm bad at remembering names. On the surface, this is just, no, Minato Aqua wearing bikini and playing with Bukake. Very colorful Bukake over there. But, yeah, I know, slime. Maybe she's playing with slime. I'll call it Bukake. Anyways, I think it is because of the color palette of this figure. It makes her look so attractive in a way. Is this car stoppable? I wanted to scroll through the pictures, but at the same time, I'm lazy to do too much censorship. No, very unlikely. I mean, this is Union Creative I'm talking about, not some edgy figure brand. I like her. Yeah. Moving on to the next one over here. Okay, we have 4 re-releases for this week. The first one here, Belfine, Ria's Grammary from High School DxD, because Season 5 is coming very soon. The thing is that even at under 15,000 yen, I can't recommend this one for the first very obvious reason. This is a very bland looking figure, lacking in detail. I mean, a lot of figure brands, Kadokawa and everyone else, are coming up with either new figures or re-releasing their old ones. So if you have doubts about this one, I would say feel free to skip past her and wait for the others. Yeah, once the anime starts airing, more options will appear. Guaranteed. So Belfine, and moreover, an older sculpt by Belfine. Where in the past, Belfine is worse than even they are today, yeah, I can't recommend it. The same thing can be said for Arcano over here, Arcano Himejima Laundry version. Same price, September release, to see how quickly they can get this figure out. I think they are trying to rush for the anime premiere. Like once the anime starts airing, within a month's time, they need to release it. That is what I suspect over here. A figure that is rushed in just 3 months? Yeah, I'm not confident about this too. Please save up your money for something else, right? Okay, next figure over here. Also a re-release. Now this is a good one by Union Creative Week. We have Tsubasa Hanekawa and Black Hanekawa, her alter ego, right? I'm not a fan of the Monogatari series, you see. I really tried. I tried to watch it and I did not like it at all. So I apologize to the friends of this series, but it is not my kind of thing, this series over here. From Neko Monogatari, so a 2-figure set for 25,000 yen, man, that is one of the best bargains this week. In fact, a lot of figures on pre-order this week are absolute bargains, and this is just one of them, right? If you missed out on the previous release, this is a must-have in my opinion for any Monogatari fan. And buying this today is a lot cheaper than buying the same figure during the first release in the past where yen was a lot higher in value. The same thing can be said for this re-release of Saber Motot Kui Razor from Good Smile Company. Holy 17,300 yen. You know, back then when this figure pre-order opened, 7-8 years ago, pre-order opened for about 15,000 yen, and a lot of us are screaming how expensive that is, but at the same time, the bike makes it worth it, right? So a lot of us still pre-ordered one despite the high price in the past 8 or 10 years ago. And today, so many years later, they only increased the price by maybe 1,500 or 2,000 yen, making this so cheap compared to in the past. Like, if this figure went on pre-order today, right, a new figure, a new sculpt, this would be over 30,000 yen for sure. Yeah, this is an absolute steal. And me, as a FGO fan, as a Fate Universe fan, I don't have this figure. Yeah, so I'm giving this one a good look, a hard look. Maybe I might take advantage of this new lower price and get one myself. Yeah. Moving on to the next one over here. Okay, now we are going into low-cost figure territory. We have a lot of them this week. The first one from Bear Panda, but this is a 1x6 instead of 1x4. Yo Feng Lai Yi. Okay, 7,500 yen coming out in June next year. So I complained about this just a week or two ago, where we have this ongoing trend with original characters where they only have a piece of cloth covering their oppai. This is also one of those figures, maybe because the figure is a lot easier to manufacture when you design a character in a very specific way. Designing a character so that you can optimize the production cost is actually a thing, especially for model kits, Bandai and Gundam, right? You know, the thing with Bandai is that when they design a new Gundam for a new series, they make sure that the design is easy to animate later on in an anime or movie, and easy to be made into a model kit when it comes to splitting the parts. If it is overly complicated, then they would revise and simplify the design. So nowadays, unlike 20 years ago, nowadays you won't find Gundams with very complicated, very complex transformation sequences, unlike Gundam Zeta, for example. Yeah. So with these very cheap original characters from Chinese brands, I do suspect that they are selectively designing characters with outfit, with a fashion style that is easy or cheap to manufacture later on. They are reducing the number of parts via character design itself. I believe that is what's happening over here, but hey, that is, being creative in problem solving, in finding ways to keep a figure's cost down. I'm not complaining. Just that I do find this, cloth covering oppai trend becoming a bit too much. Yeah, overbought. Everyone is doing it. Should you get one? Yeah, if you like the character design, absolutely. Moving on to the next one with Alice from Nikke by Tenitol, under Furio's affordable line of figures. They are about the size and price of pop-up rates, but actually a bit more expensive. 5,800 yen December release. Now, this is a good purchase, right? especially for those of you who really do not have the budget for the scale figures. That Super Bunny by Hobby Sakura, I think, yeah, Super Bunny already out, or the one made by Flare, coming out this December, I think. I pre-ordered that one. Then this is the next best thing, right? And finally, Nikke is getting a bit more traction in the world of anime figures. I mentioned this before as well, where figure brands are a bit too slow to respond to the game market. Like after a game comes out, a year or I think at least 2 years later, that is when you start seeing the figures, which in my opinion is a bit too slow. Yeah. Good to see Nikke getting some recognition though. Up next, we have Motoko Kusanagi, L size, very nice. From Ghost in the Shell, this is a pop-up rate L by Max Factory. That is the best part, because Max Factory's quality control is a lot better than Good Smile, right? They split the workload, some go to Good Smile, and a fraction of it went to Max Factory. And in general, the Max Factory pop-up rates are slightly better in quality control. At least that is my own personal experience when I reviewed a few of those normal-sized pop-up rates. Yeah. Max Factory versions are consistently a bit better. 8,000 yen? Yeah, not a bad purchase really. I think Emon Toys and a few other brands had scale figures of her, but that was years ago already. Moving on to the next one, we have pop-up rate 2B from Nier Automata by Good Smile, 5,000 yen, coming out this November. Okay, I do like the pose at least, right? The pose is nice, and for a character like this, there is a slightly lower chance of them screwing up, because you know we don't have very fine detail over here with the character design, the outfit design, and so on. Just that 5,000 yen. Yeah, not a bad buy compared to the next few options you're about to see in a moment, right? This is not a bad buy for those of you on a budget. Okay, next one over here, what do we have? Yeah, 9S, of course. Pop-up rate as well, 5,000 yen, November release. Sometimes I do wonder, what is the ratio of figures of 2B outselling 9S? Is it like 10 to 1? Yeah, I would love to know the ratio on how much better 2B sells as a figure. I'm just curious, not important, but curious, right? Up next, we have Miato's 1x10 scale gift plus their own series of affordable figures. Honor of Kings Yao Nick of Time version, 4,800 yen, coming out in December. Meant for a roughly similar price to pop-up rate or even Furio Tenitol. You guys can already tell based on these pictures alone how much more detailed these figures are compared to their Japanese counterparts when it comes to making figures at a similar price point. Yeah, that is the kind of value you get with Chinese figure brands. Now, Honor of Kings is probably some Chinese game that I don't know, nor am I interested in. But for those of you who just want a very nice looking figure at a low cost, or you like this game, then pick one up, right? There's no reason to say no to Miatos. They are already one of the best Chinese figure brands out there. Right, moving on to the next one over here, Shin Megami Tensei 5, right? We have Formism Nahobino by Square Enix, 5,500 yen, November release. So the size of this thing and the price, yeah, this is also pop-up rate level. The only problem being this is made by Square Enix. Square Enix is like hands down one of the worst Japanese figure brands out there in terms of QC. Like if you thought pop-up rate was bad, wait until you see anything made by Square Enix. I'm not kidding over here. Shin Megami Tensei, very familiar. I think I have friends who are fans of it, but I know nothing. Hopefully you don't get one. Like, please don't, right? Please don't. It is Square Enix we're talking about. Next one over here, more Square Enix stuff. We have a re-release of 2B from Nier Automata, 4,500 yen. Yeah, this is Goggles Off. Is that really a goggle or a blindfold? They call it Goggles Off. Anyways, you can get this figure without the blindfold or with the blindfold over here. Oh, the pose is slightly different. Is it? Yes, the pose is different. This one, her left, is it her left or her right leg plugged into the base, and then the other one is different. I think they are slightly different. Anyways, Square Enix stuff, I would say avoid if you can. I would rather you choose Pop-Up Parade in this case. The same thing can be said for A2 over here. They are all re-releases, right? I think they are re-releases. And then, of course, we also have A2 short hair version. Oh god, this looks horrible. My internet connection is horrid at the moment. I'm not sure if I can even load all of the images properly. I mean, this is third world country we're talking about, Malaysia. Everything is shit over here except the food. Yeah. Yeah, I think the face is still somewhat acceptable, but the sculpt of the torso, the body, like, it lacks definition in a way. I don't like it at all. And look at the paintwork around the hip over here, this black color region. Yeah, it is like price figure level quality. I could tell from these product pictures alone, so not a good idea to pre-order this. Moving on to the next one, yeah, 9S, Square Enix, once again, you have goggles off and goggles on. Yeah, 4,500 yen. Did you see what I told you about this week's figure pre-orders being extremely boring and meh? Yeah, so many low-cost figures, but half of them are Square Enix stuff and the same figure with a slightly different version. So, and the last affordable figure in HLJ for today, 1/18 scale Kaiju number 8 Kikoru Shinomiya, holding an X as well by Kyodo, 5,500 yen, January release. Okay, so when Kyodo put a few of these Kaiju number 8 figures at this tiny 1/18 scale on pre-order in the previous weeks, yeah, I criticized them. I said they are too small to be, to be enjoyable as a collector's item. And then some of you gave me a very interesting feedback that did not cross my mind. So you guys said that they are this small because they are made for dioramas. And yeah, that was quite the revelation. It makes so much sense. Like, if you 3D print your own kaiju figure this huge, and then the figures, the human characters are this small, it makes sense for diorama. So yeah, maybe I'm not looking at the big picture on the purpose of these figures. Still not my kind of thing. Yeah, not my kind of figure. But now that you guys told me about their purpose, yeah, I can see why these products exist. Like, they exist for a reason. Okay, now we shall move on to Ami for more exclusive items or figures that have not been listed on HLJ yet. The first one here, okay, we have a few Ami exclusives once again. This is a re-release, right? I think this is a re-release. This came out before. Fat Company and their Ami exclusives on anything that is predicted to be popular. So yeah, we have N Takamaki from Persona 5, very popular. 20,000 yen, coming out in December this year. Yeah, re-releases in general, they require a shorter time frame because they already have the steel flask, the molds for making the figure. Maybe I shouldn't be criticizing Fat Company every week. I think this one going for 20k is still reasonable, right? Just that I hate that base so much. It looks very tacky and cheap. Yeah. Moving on to the next one. This is perhaps my favorite exclusive figure this week. Ami exclusive Pleiades Agano, designed by Grizzly Panda. Actually like Grizzly Panda a lot as a sculptor. He is also responsible for sculpting a number of FGO figures which were eventually made by Amakuni, right? So I like his work a lot, Grizzly Panda. Okay, so this is expensive, 28,600 yen, coming out this December. Very expensive, but I like the character at least. Oh, we have cloth covering Oppai again. Not in the traditional sense like what the Chinese brands are doing, but something very similar. And I could have passed this off as a FGO character as well. I like it a lot. Just that I don't think I can justify almost 29,000 yen for this scale figure over here. Not like we all have a choice, right? This is exclusive item after all. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. Ami exclusive once again. A lot of Mega House stuff are like that. GEM series Bleach Rangiku Matsumoto 1000 Year Blood War Tipsy version. Okay. This is 24,200 yen. And this is probably only around 1/8 scale, right? What is the dimensions? 19 centimeters. Wow, this is tiny. Yeah, 1/8 scale. So she is leaning against that furniture over there. Yeah, accounting for the way her legs are folded like this. Yup, this is 1/8 scale. I mean, Mega House GEM, they keep saying non-scale, but their size is actually quite consistent, right? They are mostly 1/8 scale, unless we're talking about male characters, because what they are doing is to aim for a very specific size. Like every figure under this product line should not exceed 20, 22 cm and so on. So the male characters will appear smaller than the female characters because the guys are taller, right? So you have like 1/9 scale guys and 1/8 scale females, just like what Alter is doing with their figures, like the dudes from FGO. They are often 1/8 scale, and then the female characters are 1/7. Honestly speaking, I don't like it at all because it is weird when you display the guy and the girl together and then the dude is smaller overall, including the size of the head. It just looks so weird. I would rather them maintaining the same scale and increasing the price slightly when the figure is slightly bigger. Okay, next one, another Ami exclusive, Puchirama DX Dra Cap Rebirth 01. Okay, I'll just call this Dragon Ball, and this should be a tiny figure. I mean, we have 4 characters over here at 8,250 yen. Coming out this October. Wow, very soon. This is almost like pop-up rate level, is not, if not smaller. What is the size of this thing? Wow, 13 centimeters. It is this small. Not surprised, Mega House after all. Moving on to the next one from Ace Modeling, Chinese figure brand. We have Hitozuma no Nana, original character, 1/6 scale, only 4,400 yen, coming out in September, just 3 months away. Okay, this is a perfect example of how the lesser the number of parts, the cheaper a figure gets in manufacturing. I mean, for this figure, you have the front and the back hairpiece, and then the body is only 4 or 5 parts at most, right? Yeah, the arms are separated at the pink color armbands over there, masquerading as a ribbon, and then, yeah, everything below the pantsu, the white color pantsu, everything below is one whole piece, the entire leg and so on. And the outfit is literally a pink single piece of apron. So there are very few parts over here. This explains why over the years, when it comes to inflation, the price of Figma and action figures are increasing at a rate a lot faster than scale figures. If a scale figure went up by 20% in 2 years, then a Figma would have increased in price by 30%. Yeah, because of the number of parts. Action figures means more separate parts, and that translates into more production cost. You know, the molds, the flask, yeah, they all cost a lot of money. Okay, and when it comes to this figure over here, it is unlikely they would screw it up given how simple this figure is, but at the same time, it is a bit too simple to my liking. I am a big fan of details. I am a detail addict. So even at this low price point of 4,400 yen, I don't see myself picking up this 1/6 scale. I think 1/6 scale at Animaster's asking price of 7,000-8,000 yen with a decent amount of details, that is a good balance. This is a bit too simple. Moving on to the next one, another Chinese brand, Kiwi Toys. We have Kyo no Yushoku Yuki 1/6 scale. This is the limited edition, which includes what is included in the box. Oppai mousepad. Wow, I mean, Oppai mousepad is not cheap, man. They are not cheap. And to include one for 9,000 yen, that is quite the offer over here. If you are not interested in that, you can get the figure for 7,500 yen. But I mean, look at Oppai mousepad by Japanese brands. They are like, how many? 9,000 yen, 10,000 yen each nowadays, I think. Yeah, mostly paying for the IP though, the licensing cost. Moving on to the next one, what do we have over here? Okay, from the 7 Deadly Sins, this is a re-release by Orchid Seed, just under 20,000 yen, coming out in November. Yeah, this character, Takuya Inoue. And there was another giant Oppai character from a different series. They have like their own cult following, you know. There is a small group of figure collectors who really like figures like this for some reason. Yeah, not my kind of thing. I mentioned it so many times whenever KO6 makes a giant Oppai figure. No, that is not my veggie. Yeah. 20k for 1/6 scale by Orchid Seed, which is like a grade A, a tier A figure brand in terms of quality. Pick one up if you like her. For me, not so much. And the last figure on Ami today, Binding Creator's Opinion, Haruna Bani version 1/4 scale, almost 40,000 yen, coming out in November this year. What? November? Did Ami bump up this figure to the top because it wasn't selling well? I don't know. Binding figures don't take 5 months to release, right? Maybe this was already on pre-order a few months ago, but I don't remember it. Anyways, a slightly more detailed version of whatever Free Ink does with Barney figures. It all is down to whether you like the character design or not. Our next stop, Ninin Game, to check out the Beeful and Insight figures on pre-order this past week. Yeah, these are the kind of figures where Ami and many other Japanese websites refuses to take pre-orders for the international customers because they break too easily and yeah, they don't want to deal with all of the complaints later on. So they would rather not take orders, right? Okay, now we have Con Cafe Girl's new service narrow 1/6 scale by Insight, 20,000 yen. Or you can get her at 1/4, 28,000 yen only. Yeah, it is all down to whether like the character design, right? All of these are original characters. We have micro bikini and a small skirt over there. The character design is lovely. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, Giant Oppai again. Bakunyu rubber dress in Cargo's 1/6 scale, 4 versions on this one. So this is the covered up version because you can't really cast off. When it comes to the material used by this brand, I can't remember the name at the moment. The material is so fragile that you cannot do cast offable parts. So if you want to display her without any clothes on, you need to buy an entire separate figure. Yeah. So this is the 1/6 scale covered version, 19k, and then 27k for the 1/4 scale, and then there is the versions where her Oppai are exposed down there as well, for similar price of 19k and 27k for each scale. And lastly, the next two figures over here, okay, a Cat in Heat 1/6 scale by Insight. Yeah, those of you who like Hadaka lollies, pick one up. I actually like it a lot. Once again, 1/6 scale 19k or 1/4 scale 27k. Yeah, and that concludes figures on pre-order this week for the genuine site. Now we move on to third parties making use of OSGK, which is also our affiliate partner. There are some links below, make use of it if you are interested in the figures to support this channel. Okay, with third parties, I think there are like 2 or 3 kind of cool looking figures. I like the character design, but that is about it. This week is also pretty disappointing, just like the genuine figure side. Okay, we have about 5 One Piece figures to begin over here. Nami from Hinami Studio, $131 only at 1/6 scale, coming out this December. Oh, very lovely face. Yeah, so many figures of Nami, right? You just pick which one you like. But this at 131 bucks is quite affordable. The next one, what do we have over here? Okay, we have a pair of figures actually. Nico Robin and Boa Hancock in this bath towel kind of thing. Even the bath towel is semi-transparent, translucent. Like, what kind of bath towel is that? But don't question anime logic. Okay, the price is not yet confirmed, but this goes up to $89 only. And normally with OSGK, when they say the price is unconfirmed, it is usually an overestimation, right? Which means it is very likely that the price is plus minus 10%. Yeah, it won't be too high, it won't be too low from the quoted price over here. 1/6 scale. Yeah, this is 1/6 scale. And then the next one over here, oh, it is not it is not Boa Hancock, it is Windsmoke Reiju. Oh, my bad. Okay, yeah, the second one here is Windsmoke Reiju for a similar price and no release date yet. That is not a towel, man. That is not a towel. That looks like a cloth made from gel or slime. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have Boa Hancock from Miss Studio. Shy Boa Hancock. Is Boa Hancock a shy character? I don't think so, right? I mean, I don't watch One Piece, but the aura she gives off as a character, she looks pretty confident in a way. This isn't the kind of expression I would imagine her to have, but I don't know anything about the character at the same time. Okay, so we have a standard version over here going for $139 red or white color, and that's a premium version, is that with cast off parts. Let's have a look at the bottom. Oh no, premium version comes with that serpent, that snake. Yeah, it makes sense, right? It is Boa Hancock we're talking about. So this is the red color version, and the white color version. Red looks so much better. No contest. Red looks so much better, and this is like her signature color. Moving on to the next one over here. From Black Studio, we have Charlotte Cinnamon. Okay, this is going for $143 at 1/7 scale. September release, just 3 months away. You'll see when some third-party figure brands, they can release their resin figures so quickly in 3 to 6 months. If you have noticed, they usually apply to very mainstream characters like, yeah, Dragon Ball, One Piece, and so on, because the moment they put the figure on pre-order, they are already manufacturing it. Yeah, in fact, they maybe they already have a small batch of stocks already. Yeah, they are already making them because they are like guaranteed to sell in a way. Yeah. Okay, wow. Those are really long legs. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have 2 figures of Perona. The first one is by Cube Studio. This is pretty pricey. Oh, 1/4 scale. That's why. Okay, 1/4 scale, $347. Not yet confirmed though. CGI render, right? Yes, this is CGI render. 2 faceplates. I just couldn't get over the odd character designs of One Piece. Everything is CGI. Okay, nothing much to see over here. Next one, another Perona figure with just an illustration. Apparently, this is what the figure will look like at 1/6 scale, $316 by Toys My Dream Studio. Apparently, this will be out in December. Yeah, I think that is all for the 5 One Piece figures. The next one over here, we have a chibi version of Sakura Kinomoto from Captor Sakura by How Cute Studio. $77 December release. It is hard to beat both Kotobukiya and Good Smiles offerings when it comes to Cardcaptor Sakura. So I'm not sure what to think about this one. I'm not exactly a chibi or super deformed character enjoyer, so I tend to overlook figures like this. I collected like 5 or 6 Nandoroids and then I quit. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have one single Anya figure this week by Waku Waku Studio. Again, this is like an Anya Forger clone factory. Waku Waku Studio, they almost exclusively do Anya figures only. 1/6 scale, $99. Okay, random Anya figure standing on the gramophone, no. You know, when it comes to Anya, given how comical her character is and all of her face expressions, if I want to buy a third-party figure of her, I would go for something that is a bit more meme-ish, you know, like the whole thing is a joke. Like just a week ago, we had Anya as the Scream artwork, and then there is another one where she is pretending to be Mona Lisa coming up, right? So those kind of weird figures of Anya, I could see the reason why I want one, but stuff like this, no. Too many of them out there. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have Neko Studio, Blade and Soul, Jin Soyun. Blade and Soul, I think this sounds very familiar to me. Video game, I think. It is a video game figure, there we go. Yeah, it is a game. Okay, 1/4 scale, standard edition, $495. Deluxe edition, $710, and then Devil edition. And Supreme edition up to $1,200. Wow. Alright, so here you go. The one on the right is the Devil edition. I wanted to really zoom in, but at the same time, YouTube says you cannot zoom in on Oppai, even though we are talking about the face, not the Oppai. I don't care about the Oppai part. Yeah, one of those ultra detailed 1/4 scale figures, man. I would say if you're going for both, right? You go for the Supreme version, both statues at 1/4 scale, plus the extra base over there for a grand. Yeah, $1,200 is not too bad, to be honest. Yeah, not my kind of statue, but the value proposition is not too bad, really. Just that the shipping cost, yeah, good luck. Okay, moving on to the next one. RS Studio Dragon Ball Rider Android 18. Rider. Okay, 1/4 skill, $430, coming out in December. See? Dragon Ball, and this is coming out in December. Just 6 months away, less than that, for such a complex 1/4 scale figure. The mainstream stuff, yeah, they are likely to be already in production. Realistic face, but not bad looking. This is all up to personal taste. Okay, moving on to the next one. Here we go again, Yozai Renshin Studio. They do 1/4, 1/3 scale action figures, or I would call them dolls, right? Yeah, seamless dolls. That is what they're doing over here. Just that I never liked anything they make. Yeah, it is like the quality is a bit dodgy in a way, and you can already tell even in the product pictures, but I think the price reflects that. I mean, $344 and you get a seamless doll with steel joints inside, right? Japanese companies won't be able to give you that, but my problem with this one is that the wings over here looks really flimsy, really like low quality in a way. They're using flexible, right? Flexible aluminium strip or some kind of metal inside, metal frame, and then you can bend it into any shape you want, but it just makes the doll or the figure looks so cheap. I don't like it. Personally, I don't. Okay, so this is 1/4 scale, $344 and no release date yet. Original character Shinomiya Kana. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have two or three licensed resin figures. The first one by Prem1 Studio. This one looks fabulous. Kami from Street Fighter 6. Okay, regular version is going for $899, and yeah, the DX version $1299. Okay, since this is Prem1 Studio, we are talking about, it is very likely that HLJ will begin taking pre-orders next week itself. So maybe you want to compare prices first and see which site you prefer to order this from, right? Okay, this is licensed figure, so the face is going to be outstanding. I love her face over here, man. And that scar, whoa, it looks great. Until today, I'm still not a fan of the outfit design for Street Fighter 6 characters, especially Kami. I love the green color leotard she wears in the previous Street Fighter installments, but you know, you need to be politically correct nowadays, or people will get angry when a character is too sexy in some way. I believe that is probably the reason why Street Fighter 6, right, the character designs are also safe, relatively safe in a way. Okay, enough with the SJW rant. We move on to the next one from Riot. Apparently, this is also a licensed figure. League of Legends Ahri 1/6 skill, $299. Not yet confirmed, though this looks really nice though. Oh, come on, I can't zoom in the picture. According to this product or this figure listing, at least this is a licensed figure, but I find it really weird that a licensed figure brand is showing us CGI renders. They usually don't do that, so I can't be certain if this is actually a licensed figure at all. It looks great though, and honestly speaking, nowadays, licensed or not doesn't really matter that much. It only matters when, you know, you want to support the original creators and the license holders of the character, but you know, as long the figure looks great and has no quality issues, I don't mind buying it, regardless of the license status. This looks really good. But at the same time, this looks like a CGI render to me, which is weird, once again, for something that is coming from a licensed brand. Next one over here, Pure Studio original character Yukiona, $294 maximum. Oh, that is at 1/4 scale. DX 1/6 scale is going for $147 only. Low effort, low detail figure. Yeah, no, not a fan of it. This does not look good at all. This looks like a slightly better pop-up rate in a way. I told you guys earlier, this week's figure pre-orders are not good at all. Up next, from Niji Studio and Mitra from Xenoblade, no price or release date yet, early bird pre-order. The face on this one looks really good, and thankfully we are getting anime game version face, not the realistic conversion nonsense we get from many other brands. And the only issue I can see with this figure is that when you look at her rear view, this picture almost looks like a CGI render, but this is an actual product photo, I can tell. The problem here is that, yeah, the hair is just flat yellow paint. I would like to see a bit of shading. Does not have to be heavy, just a very light shading over there. Otherwise, this is a great looking figure. Hopefully it is not too expensive at 1/6 scale. I am predicting $250 to $300. Yeah, my prediction, by the way. Moving on to the next one, this is possibly the highlight of the week from Red Peach A Studio, Dorothy from Goddess of Victory Nikke. So the one you are looking on screen, that is the game version. $500 at 1/4 scale. This kind of detail level and base for $500, man, that is good buy. That is a really good buy. And then there is a dress version which is even cheaper. Pink and white dress for $344, and then there is a black version. The thing is that you can only get the black version when you buy it as a set with the game version, which goes up to $759. That is a sizable discount over there, right? If you buy them separately, 500 and 344, yeah, 844. But you buy both, you get 759 only. Where is the black? Yeah, there we go, black color. Personally, this kind of black color fallen angel look over here, this is suitable for the likes of Yuzuriha Inori from Guilty Crown, for example, but not very suitable for Dorothy. For this character, yeah, I think this pink and white looks better. Of course, if I could only afford one, I would go for the game version because of how detailed it is, right? Yeah, this looks fabulous, man. Oh, this is so good. Jeez. I need to stop looking at this, otherwise the want factor is increasing over here. I'm a big fan of Nikke, their character designs especially. Yeah, definitely the highlight of this week. Next one over here from Pepeho Studio, we have Texas from Arknights, $191 at 1/4 scale. 1/4 under $200. 1/6 scale at only $139. Just go all out and buy 1/4. Not a big price difference. I mean, nowadays, if you are into the hobby of collecting anime figures in general, especially scale figures, you're looking at an average $200 per figure, regardless of whether it is genuine or third party. So if a third party is offering you a 1/4 at under $200, yeah, you go for 1/4. You forget the 1/6. This is a simple figure for sure, wearing only a red dress, but man, she looks so good that I'm not complaining. At this price especially, yeah, I'm not complaining at all. Next figure from Miwu Studio with Honkai Impacted. Is that Honkai Impact or Honkai Gakuen? This outfit reminds me of Honkai Gakuen. Okay, Raiden Mei, no price or release date yet. I think a different brand made a very similar figure on pre-order recently. Torn clothes, yeah, JK in torn clothes. And please do some shading, man. Yeah, no shading. Not good enough in my opinion. Moving on to the next one, we have two figures of Hayase Yuka. This week, it is quite hard to beat the one by Good Smile though, the one that went on pre-order recently. Okay, this is by Snow Studio, and standard version, $119 only. Hadaka version, $172. All I look for is the face. What does the face look like? No. It is just okay. Just okay. Oh, I still think Good Smile's version, the one where she is sitting on the chair, is a lot nicer. The second Yuka figure over here, this one by Yohol Studio, version A, $208. Version B, where she is Hadaka, maybe a bit cheaper, and you can get both for $298. Once again, I want to see the face. You know, personally, her face looks a bit elongated. You know, like you stretch her face vertically. Yeah, it looks a bit off. And the first thing that caught my attention was how potentially big or huge her forehead is. I mean, look at the area covered by the hair fringes, hair strands in front. Yeah, the forehead is big. So I think the problem is that maybe the vertical dimensions of the face or the skull is a bit too elongated. Looks a bit off to me. Moving on to the next one of the highlights this week as well, together with the Dorothy earlier, we have Absinthe Studio Bishoujo Mangekyo Yukiona. She looks exceptionally good, right? And this is 1x4 scale. Standard version going for $465 and Hadaka version $413. For this specific figure, I'm telling you to go for the standard version, not the Hadaka one, because the standard version where she has all these beautiful clothes on, that is where you get to enjoy the detail on the figure, the character design. Hadaka is just bare skin everywhere. There is really nothing to enjoy, nothing to feast your eyes on. In my opinion, when it comes to figures, you want to see craftsmanship, want to see detail, want to see all of the design and everything. But when the character is just bare skin with nothing on, if you have 2 or 3 such figures, it feels alright. But when you buy too many of them, you'll start to feel that they are just gimmicks in a way. Yeah, so standard version is definitely the better buy. I don't see the point buying both, to be honest. And we have a second figure of the very same character by Beast Studio, and this one does not look as good, right? And with this figure over here, they are not showing us how the figure is sitting upright. I'm a bit concerned by the figure's weight, sitting on her hair over here. Anyways, I would say go for the one by Absinthe Studio. Surely, Absinthe one was a lot more expensive. Another $100. This is only $347 if you go for 1x4 scale, but I would say pay more and go for the better quality one. Yeah. Moving on to the next one. Okay, we have 2B from Nier Automata by Jiuzhou Studio. 1x4 scale standard version, $332, and premium version where you get the Hadaka version for $430. Office outfit, right? Hot office lady outfit, very common. I want that couch, but not at this scale, at 1x6 scale, because I'm a diorama person in a way. Up next, wow, XYX Studio with Arif Bathing from Final Fantasy VII. $347 for 1x6 scale is too much, especially when she is wearing nothing. Unless you're telling me I'm getting the entire setup including a buff diorama set, then it makes sense. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is all I can show you because she is wearing nothing. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, we are now entering Honkai territory. Every week we have Honkai stuff. This is Firefly Broken Armor. Broken armor or battle damage is just an excuse. In anime terms, it means less clothes, right? Okay, 1x4 skill is going for $361, and then 1x6, oh, can get 1x6 skill at $226, okay? And then there is a special hit at 1x4 and 1x6 as well, buy it separately, a different face expression. This is a perfect example of when there are too little clothes on, the figure becomes way less detailed and less attractive as a consequence. So no, I don't like this version of Firefly that much. Okay, next one over here. Okay, more tentacles stuff. Double Eye Studio, Acheron, stuck in tentacles, 1x4 scale, $298, 1x6 scale, $191. Low effort figures. That is all I can call these figures, man. They are all low effort stuff. Next, second Acheron figure, also an edgy figure by Yo-Yo Dog Studio. This is only $156, and you get to buy choose between blue or white version, the hair color. For an edgy figure, unlike the earlier tentacle figure of Acheron, this one looks a lot better detail wise. Even the face expression is, it is very well made. So at least there is a bit more effort being put into this figure of Acheron over here compared to the first one earlier. And at $156, this might not be a bad purchase if you are into this kind of figures. Okay, next one, Pineapple Studio Kafka. Okay, this is just a teaser, early bird pre-order, no price, no pictures yet, only one teaser pic over here. Oh, she is wearing bikini maid outfits, I think. Yeah, looks like it to me. Okay, up next, okay, from SC Studio and Blink Studio, we have inverted Shenhe. I have uncensored pictures of this figure. Yeah, like truly uncensored. Anyways, more low effort figures like these third parties are really relying on dry and single people who play games all day to buy this kind of stuff. Like I said earlier, if you have 2 or 3 such figures, it feels exciting. But once you buy too many of them, you'll start getting bored of it. Yeah. For me, just reporting on this figure news every week and seeing so many of them, yeah, I'm starting to get bored of them myself. Next one, same thing. We have Nikke Dorothy from Zenless Zone Zero by Roll Studio. Yeah, completely Hadaka and in a very compromised position. Standard version going for 191, deluxe version 249 at 1/6 scale, coming out this December. Yeah, the figure is simple enough, right? Not too much work. I love the face expression. Like, who doesn't like it when you have a pretty chick enjoying herself in a compromised position? Everyone loves it. Okay, and the last figure for today, another meh looking figure, Hwanwoo Gongshi Studio with original character Skip Class Senpai series Mie, $156 at only 1/6 scale. Okay, 1/6 scale, 156 is cheap when you get the whole package over here. Just that I hate her face so much. Yeah. Once again, just like that your whole studio figure of what's her name again? Yuka earlier, from Blue Archive. The face on this one also feels a bit elongated vertically. Like you stretch the face vertically. This one also gives off a very similar feel. So I'm not really a fan of it. I know that maybe criticizing a person for having a huge forehead is perhaps body shaming, but I'm not a fan of it. And that concludes figures on pre-order this week. I don't know about you, but this week's figure pre-orders are really disappointing. But at least, once again, my wallet takes a break. Nothing attracts me this week. And yeah, if there is anything you will be pre-ordering this week, let me know down in the comments below. In my opinion, the re-releases, yeah, that Saber Quick Razor and also that pair of Hanekawa figures from Monogatari, they are the best deals this week. So go and pre-order them if you want those figures. Until then, if you found this video to be entertaining or helpful in any way, give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more content like this every week. And until then, I'll see you guys really soon. Yeah, do look forward to the figure reviews I'll be coming up in the next couple of weeks. Until then, I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.